information can be found on our website, kennedy-center.org. This work is meant to be viewed in 3 different ways: right in front of you, from afar as you twist for the good view around your neighbor's head, and with the help of the video screen above. If you can't see, Sarah wants you to try harder. And now, please enjoy Skirt the Wall.
We interrupt this program to bring you the American dream. Yesterday, the president spoke before a joint session of Congress and rallied America's public servants to go to the moon, not because it is easy, but because it is hard. Yesterday, the president spoke before a joint session of Congress and rallied America's public servants to shape the future, to believe in acting even when it's hard, to replace gridlock with progress. The president, in an effort to pass immigration reform, is blocked by Congress. Yesteryear, Congress blocked his bill. Yesterday, Congress blocked his bill. Today, Congress blocked his bill. Tomorrow, and tomorrow. The president stood in front of a wall. He stood with a movement and said, "Ich bin ein Berliner."
The president stood in front of the wall. He stood with the movement and said, "I am Trayvon Martin." Hold up, held up, lights out. It is creed, it was decreed, it is now decried. Lay down in the street, sit down at the counter, raise up in the street, raise the bar, ride. Throw off your chains, throw back your hood. Names, black names, men of color with names. The Lees, the Kings, the Evers, the Martins, the Grays. Sterling, Lenin, death by metal arms. Keith, just last week, cut your teeth on that. In memory of, in memoriam, in memorial, the American dream, and arms, your appendages, your attachments, names, 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 in memory of, in memory of, in memory of, in memory of the American dream. The great American activist said he had a dream. The great American lyricist said, because white men can't police their imagination, black men are dying. The great American busboy and poet said, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up or does it explode?
somebody up there with scissors? And I'll be right below here to catch them. There should be a crew member. Could somebody please cut them down for me? Please, I'll be right down here. Yep, I got this. Yep, thank you. Now this one. Great, one more. Thank you.
Remember when you held me tight and said that it would be all right? Then you promised me the moon and said you'd be coming back real soon. But I haven't seen you since that day you went away. I want you to come back to me. I wish you'd just ask of me. What can I do? I do it for you. What can I do? I do it. Where is my Bobby? Whoa. Where is my Johnny? Whoa. I saw those boys lying in the grass, sneaking dirty looks as we rode past. I saw that pretty girl looking too, and I'm not the only one missing you. But still, I wish I knew what can I do? I do it for you. What can I do? I do it. Where is my Bobby? Whoa. Where is my Johnny? Whoa. It's been so long since I held your hand. I think I found myself another man. We meet up on 5th Avenue, but don't ever think I'll forget you. But still, I wish I knew what can I do? I do it for you. What can I do? I do it. Where is my Bobby? Whoa. Where is my Johnny? Whoa.
stolen from an audience member? Awesome. Feel free to scooch up if you'd like. We're going to get started. We don't have a ton of time. So my name's Jane Rabinovitz. I work here at the Kennedy Center in the Dance Programming Office. We're the office that works with our local dance commissioning project artists. And this is our choreographer and awardee this year, Beth Oppenheim. Congratulations. So I'll start with one or two questions, and then we'll open it up. So think of some interesting things if you have them. I just want to start big picture. Why the site specificity? What is important to you about that?
In general, I like dancing in my kitchen. I mean, don't we all? The surfaces are easy to turn on, and they're all reflective appliances, so there are mirrors all around. So I ran out of rehearsal space in Berlin one day when I had started my company, and I realized, as we rehearsed in my kitchen, and I realized that felt like home, and that felt like a really good, comfortable place to see dance in. So I've always loved site-specific work, but in particular for this performance, when confronted with the really large topic of how to honor JFK's legacy, that was a hard one. And I was really fortunate to actually be in another Millennium Stage performance back in April, Jessie Larita Spanglet, who's watching from home tonight. And so we were here for the whole day rehearsing for her performance, and I had just received the commission. And I was lying under this balcony, this first balcony, stretching and looking up, and I thought, I want to go up there. And then I looked up a little farther and thought, I also want to go up there. And then I saw them opening and closing the curtains just to get ready for the performance. And then I thought, I want that grand sweep of the curtains opening. So it was a real jump-off point for me to get excited about how to put movement in the space. And then once I started connecting the legacy to it, it made a lot of sense. This is about the American people and what we need to do for our country. And I think going into all the parts of the country and all the parts of this space feel like that's really important, instead of just leaving it for the legalese or the politics or just the people that are elected and governing us, because that doesn't always match with what we want as the people.
So I'll jump off on that question of legacy and how you dealt with that. For those who may have not read in their program, we did ask the commission awardees this year to create a piece in response to the presidency and legacy of JFK. So where did you research this, and how did you deal with the dichotomy of fact versus emotional response and legacy versus history?
So my parents live just outside of Boston, so I was able to visit the JFK Presidential Museum, which was very helpful for the research process. So after I got the commission, I went up there and spent some time, and I really wanted to go with a blank slate. I mean, when I wrote the application for the commission, I looked up a couple things that were really seemed relevant to me. The Commission on the Status of Women, the Race to the Moon, of course, but also his tract on a nation of immigrants and all the research that he did on the history of immigration in this country. And when I wrote the application back in December, so I was reading JFK went to Congress in July 1963 and asked them to change the quota system, to abolish it, the quota system of immigration. And when I wrote this application last December, Obama had just gone to Congress and asked them for immigration reform. And so there was an immediate connection then and now. And then I started looking up this other, like the pomp and circumstance of the presidency was really relevant. I mean, what I think of when I think of JFK without doing the research, but underneath was this boiling social climate, and I wanted to figure out how to get at that. And so I started looking at protest photos, black and white protest photos from the 60s, and of course they look just like the protest photos from right now. So that was another connection. And then at the end of when I was at the JFK Presidential Library and Museum, at the end of the exhibit, it brings you out into this kind of memorial room. and the architecture was stunning. And frankly, that was the most important thing of my visit there. The architecture, I don't know if anyone's been there, but it juts out and comes back in and juts out and comes back in, and it's looking over the Boston Harbor. It's beautiful, and I felt this push and pull. So I was in this vast room, and I felt like he wanted me to move. I mean, not in a spiritual way, but I felt like the legacy was about a push and pull, and the legacy was about you and me. So that's how I did the research.
That's awesome. Do we have questions in the audience?
Hi. So was it an intentional part of your choreography to tie in Black Lives Matter and like all that sort of stuff into the piece as well? And then how did you come up necessarily with, I guess, the movements for it? What inspired you for that?
Thank you for your question. I was making the bulk of this piece this summer when it seemed like every Sunday we had rehearsal, there was another shooting. And the first time it happened was the mass shooting in Florida. And I didn't know if I should cancel rehearsal. And I sent a message to everyone saying, what do we need today? And I wanted to give people time if they felt like we shouldn't be in the studio rehearsing. And the dancer, Sadie, one of the doo-wop singers, said the thing she needed most that day was dance. And I think that says a lot, that we needed to come together and we needed to activate our space and use what we know as our tools to be part of the community. And I believe dance can change the world. And so Black Lives Matter is happening right now, and I tried to go into the process with as much sensitivity as possible because I'm a white woman, and I want to be led by strong, powerful Black women in this march. So there was a lot of talking with the cast, a lot of figuring out if I was doing it okay. A lot of back and forth about the black and the white, and frankly, my dancers helped me get there. And I don't want to say just with their blessing, but it was a lot of dialogue and I wanted to do right by that. Coming up with the moves is a visceral thing. I mean, some of this stuff you saw and I looked at all these protest photos from the 60s and from now. Some of it was really like how torn up I feel inside and how to convey that movement. So a lot of from the gut. And the other part of that was how we reach you from really far away places, and how we could connect with individuals all the way in the balcony from outside and all the way down here from in the balcony, a back view, a side view, and I feel like that's part of the work that we have to do in this country.
I think we have time for one more. Yeah.
Hi, thanks for your beautiful work. The part where you had two people down here and their movement was reflected there and there, I found that really moving. And I mean, the movement that was down here was very arresting, or if you'll excuse the expression, it was very compelling. And at first I was just mesmerized by that and didn't see. And then I noticed the people above, and then I noticed the people above. And it felt like funhouse mirrors where you see endless reflections of the same thing. And I was just wondering if that's what you had in mind, or if you anticipated that would be very moving to people.
Thank you. I had hoped so. I was confronted with such a challenge. This is such a grandiose, gorgeous space, and my go-to as a choreographer is house shows, where maybe 20 people at most come to the performances. And I really wanted to be cognizant and responsible to all of you that showed up tonight to make sure that I could reach you. And I also really wanted to find a way to keep the intimate feel of how I like to make choreography, even though we would be so far away. And I feel like what's happening in the country is an amplification. it was then, it is now. We reach this boiling point and the streets erupt, and then somehow it goes away again for a few weeks. And so I wanted to have this ebb and flow to reflect that, and was hoping by the time we got to the end and cascaded from the second balcony all the way down to the stairs that it would have a feeling like that for you. We also wanted to be cognizant of the viewers on the balcony who only saw us from behind, and thought a lot about what that experience was for them. They couldn't see everything and didn't have a whole picture, so it was also a fun choreographic challenge to make a second show up there for them.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you so much for coming. If you liked Sarah's show, she has one more tomorrow right here at 6 o'clock. Our other awardee, Maverick Lemons, performs October 14th and 15th on the other side. So thank you so much for being here, and have a great night.